Hello, good afternoon. April the 8th, 2014. This is CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy. This is the beginning of week number 9. Unfortunately today, computer works, internet connection is okay, but we cannot flip the screen, the computer screen, to the wall screen here. So anyway, let's get started. Well, first of all, let me thank you very much for sitting together. We have all together 4 teams. If you look at the teacher's message, and the last team looks like have 1 pair. But the interesting thing about this class is this particular week and also next week we're going to have a new format of classroom management. Remember, the new format of classroom management requires all of your teams to be sit together, and the first 5 minutes I'm going to review what you're going to do, which is very much about the learning contract number 3. In the next 15 minutes in each team you need to get yourself prepared for something very specific today. Okay, you have 15 minutes to manage your team's work, and then after the 15 minutes of your management, each team you are required or you're expected to share with the whole class 5 to 10 minutes time. You can start to share 5 minutes first and then reserve the other 5 minutes later in the second round. Okay? Or if you have a lot of things to share with the whole class, you can use up to 10 minutes of your sharing slot. Okay, so what are you going to share today? Now remember, as of last week, you have your teams formed. So each team now at least composed of 2 pairs. And then remember, last Friday, well, I have given you an instruction that we will not meet here because I was physically in Hong Kong. Then I invite all of the teams here to work out which problem you're going to select as the core problem in this learning contract number 3. That is the problem-based learning section. Fortunately, you are the only person from your team here. Welcome. Thank you very much. Then, what you need to do today during your 5 minutes or 10 minutes sharing time is to introduce to the whole class the problem you selected. Okay? As of last Friday, the problem you selected as of last Friday. And the whole team needs to make an effort to introduce the whole class your problem as you have selected from last Friday. The problem is very simple. It's a proposal, remember. It has a name, it has 3 questions, it has 3 to 5 relevant references, and then a short paragraph telling you why this problem is important. Now, since you also have gone through the voting process last Friday to select this problem, and you should have studied a little bit more about that problem as of last weekend. So with the 15 minutes you have now, you should be able to brief the whole team in your table what exactly is that problem and who owns that problem. Okay, basically the owner of the problem now has transformed the problem to be owned by the whole team. So the next 5 minutes, which is going to be presented by individual team, should be led by the owner of the problem, and then the whole team need to support it. So that is your first job to get prepared in your PBL, Problem-Based Learning Sharing sections today. Now I also sent out a call for participations as on each week, but you know that we are expecting each team to do the sharing in every class now until the end of this learning contract number 3. So you're sure to make yourself appear and talk and share so that you can use this sharing slots time as one of the important activity to receive your class participation score. Okay? So this is number 1 thing you need to keep in mind. In the teacher's message, which was released yesterday, hopefully you have already read it. If not, you should be informed well that in this 3rd learning contract, you have 2 tasks that comes. 2 tasks. The first task is based on the problem you select, which I've already described. The second task is based on what you did similarly to what you did in learning contract number 2. but you did it in Teams format, okay? And as of last Friday, because you have the team identity, you go to the website now, you should be able to see, based on your team identity, if you go to week number 8, week number 9, and week number 10, you have both the team discussion forum and the team collaborations wiki. Now, remember, when you go home and work on your team discussion forum, choose the teams forum and choose the teams wiki. You don't choose the pair, okay? Choose the teams. There you can see under the label your pair version and also the teams version. Now, in this learning contract, make sure you choose your teams forum and choose your teams wiki, okay? And may I remind you one more time that it's highly recommended you bring your computing devices to the classroom, for example, the iPad or smartphone, so that you can get online in the virtual environment and share with one another. Now, let me say that one more thing you need to do for the whole class. Remember, you now should have submitted all the learning artifacts for learning contract number 2. And we have the questionnaire for you, okay? We have the questionnaire for you. And you are expected to complete the questionnaire before the end of this Saturday. Now, in order to encourage you to complete the questionnaire, I promise I'm going to buy you something to eat next time. And I'm going to give you drinks. Everybody, make sure you complete the questionnaire. This questionnaire is not that complicated, but it helps you to remember what you need to do, what you have done, and why you are doing what you have done, and giving enough indications of your learning in the second learning contract. Okay? So, food first, and then questionnaire. Remember, this is very important. So, may I give you the time now? Now you have the 15 minutes time to prepare yourself, to introduce the problem you select last Friday, the whole class, okay? Remember, last Friday we did not meet here. We invite all the team to meet separately, and then you should discover through the voting process which problem you want to work on. So the first thing we need to share today on a team basis, each team has 5 minutes, at most 10 minutes, is to share with the whole class the problem selected. Okay, so make sure you call your team members back. All right, 5 minutes, very good. Your discussion is ongoing now.
所以咯，
呢啲係你自己嘅安排。你自己點啊？但係曾經呢啲我哋上次有啲咩問題？即係我哋傾個 topic 嘅時候，揀咗真係都好熟，即係好熟熟，好熟。
咩啊？唔係啊，嗰個女仔嗰個。邊個出嚟？喺度。飆走咗，喺周圍啊！喂，我而家先嚟，好熱氣啊！交流實咯，都交流。仲接咗好多，又仲係賺咗好多錢。嗰陣時我，跟住我仲笑，我交唔出。我答啊！點解要兩個出咁份嘢啊？真係唔緊要，
我 send 咗份嗰個啦，你你
冇啊！我冇 send 嗰份嘢，即係
我meeting send 俾你 Facebook。我教頭抽煙啦。先用比喻嚟做，好似比喻化嘅作用就係令人理解討論比喻。
我哋傾嗰陣時不是有人讨，是某人讨的时候有什么问题遇到？
我咁咪俾堂。
说我们上星期我们 discussion 的时候，我们遇到的什么问题？就是指那个 proportion， 选择一个 proportion。但是接拉点。
Fewer than 4 minutes left. And I know that some of you did not meet last Friday, so you might need some more time. You met last Friday? Did you work out the problem proposal? So in a minute, you see the sound is okay, but the screen cannot be switched. So this is the problem. So I got 2 tables ready. Okay, let's give this table a couple more minutes until Thomas returns, okay? We will pass the time to individual table. It's very good. Looks like except for the screen, sound is working fine. Maybe we go first in a minute. All right. Remember, after your sharing of your proposal, you still have 20 or 30 minutes time to continue to work on your proposal. And my job today is to make sure you get comfortable with this process. Okay, when Thomas returns now, we can pass the time to individual table. So let's move to table with Michael, with Julia, with Mandy, with Ivy. What's your team number?
Sorry.
Thank you very much. So could you share with us your team's proposal selected for task number 1 in learning contract 3?
Firstly, we think that we have the problem. We use too much time to choose our topic.
Okay, you use too much time to choose the topic. What is the topic?
Hiking and trekking.
Okay, could you repeat it slowly?
Hiking and trekking.
Okay, thank you very much.
And
You have 3 specific questions, right?
we divide our mission.
Right.
Not
We cannot have some. We are not easy to define our FH.
Oh, all right.
Just we cannot easy to define who do some part or search the information.
It's okay. At this point, you still have a lot of time to manage that. But the most important thing is, what are the 3 questions you want to study with that problem?
We want to know how to protect our information, not to give hacking or to attack our computer.
Right, right. So this is question number 1.
Yeah.
How to protect our computer not to be hacked. For Julia, second question.
Many people don't know the difference between hacking and cracking.
Okay.
And we want to figure out hacking, the biggest difference of hacking and cracking, and help people how to know the exact difference.
Very good. So the second question is, what are the differences between hacking and cracking? So what about the third question you want to study? So you need a third question, because for each topic, hacking and cracking, you have given 2 questions already. But what about the third question? So the third question, you can still share with us a little bit about the third question. Yes? So Michael, are you ready?
how to figure out hacking and cracking.
How to think out. Hack.
Figure out.
Fake out.
Okay.
Girl.
Figure out. Yes. Hacking and cracking. Okay. It could be much more simple and precise, because figure out could be a lot of things, right? So my suggestion is you can make it much more simple and precise for the third question. So you do have a question, you do have a proposal now, which is for task number 1, which is about hacking and cracking. If I could repeat your 3 questions, the first one is how to protect our computers so as not to be hacked. Okay. The second question is what are the differences between hacking and cracking? And the third is how to figure out something specific about hacking and cracking. And of course, you can simplify the question.
Maybe the third is how to distinguish between hacking and cracking.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Find one most simple way to distinguish.
Yes. Now, so you need to have the secretary to keep in mind that. Now, thank you very much, Michael, and your team, number 3. Now, can you pass the microphone to the other team, Peter's team, where we have Peter, we have Jihin, we have Kathy, and we have Wendy, right? So, that's okay, take your time. So you need to help us to understand the name of the problem. Topic. Yes, topic.
So, okay, we choose the proposal for our page, for our group. It should be about hiking as well as information form. We
Okay.
choose this specific questions due to because nowadays computers are the most important digits for all of us. We use it for buying stuff, we use it for storing stuff, which
Right.
means in computers we got lots of information about ourselves. And so, which means how to protect it will be the most important things for all of us nowadays living here.
Right.
And that's why we choose this proposal as our team proposal, because we want to understand how to protect our own information by protecting our computer.
Thank you very much, Peter. You can help us to understand very briefly the 3 individual questions related to your topic, hacking.
Also, with the 3 questions, the first question is how we want to understand how the hacker do their stuff, do their jobs.
Okay.
For example, I read some of those articles. They said those hackers will use Java or PDF reader to achieve that way to hack into some other computers.
All right.
And we want to understand how this happened. For example, in I don't know, maybe half years ago, Java, software Java has a really enormous
Right.
security breakthroughs, and this is how hacker works to walk through that. However, how they find out those breakthrough and what and use it as a way, this is why we want to
Okay, so
understand.
yes, so the first question is
Yes.
to discover how the hackers do the business, right?
Business, yes, that's
To
true.
discover
And the
loopholes.
second question is about information form.
Information
As we all
forms.
know that information is very casual. I can use the word casual using for nowadays. For example, if you go to Amazon or applying something, we have to type all the right information. For example, address, names, cell phone numbers, personal emails, things like that. We usually use it online.
Right.
However, how can we assure that those information will be used safely by the website? So I want to ask that is that possible for us to protect our information from those information forms? And the third question, okay, I have a little time. A little bit of nature of the computer, so and
Yes, your partners could help, your teammates could help. If they have more information to add. So Wendy or Kathy?
We're also talking about how to prevent hackers from being crackers.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe we can establish some rules and enact those rules, but maybe the most important thing is that we should offer enough education and the appropriate lead. Yeah.
Okay, so the third question is how to offer enough education to convert the hackers to be good people instead of make them become crackers. The crackers are bad guys, you mean, right? Okay, thank you. But do you think the questions are manageable? That means it's good for you to manage your work when you do your work in this particular problem. Because you have to put some thinking into this. How much time can you spend into looking into the questions so as to get some good answers? Now you may discuss around yourself for that, all right? So Peter, you want to add something?
Well, I want to ask a little bit reference about your question just asked. And I think the most toughest things for the three questions should be how to find information or references for the question is only because, as we all know, that hiker wouldn't told you how they hike.
Yes,
That's
right.
the way how they make money.
Right.
Just like some of the cook won't told you how to make a dish, because that's how they make money. So that should be very hard for us to find out some information about the hikers, how the hiking, as well as the reference. And for the time management, I'm a little bit concerned about that, because as we all know that we have to deal with several stuff. However, I will try my best to manage the time as I can. Thank you.
That's the reasons why we need to choose good questions. Not too big, manageable, precise, pinpoint, and then you can have some possible answer. So could you pass the microphone to Emily's table with Jacqueline, with Thomas and Antonio. Hi, Antonio.
Hi. After our discussion and only they used my proposal of the project to is talking about encryption.
Encryption. Yes, thank you.
Because my proposal is here to know mobile and mobile.
Yes, Thomas. Help us to understand more.
Thank you. We four of us, we decided to stick to the Anthony's topic because first of all, we want to know more about what exactly inscription is, and also how the inscriptions evolve in the information information privacy, and also the related inscription to our daily life, and what is the effect of the inscription to the information and the protection of the information, and also how to store the information on computers. And moreover, we also want to discover or find more about especially the protection of the data. The protection of the data, especially related to when we do the online shoppings, or the safety of the information that we have, and also the safety and the protection of the information that we have. That's what we are going to looking for, and we will discuss about those questions.
Okay, now I need a little bit help from members of your table. Put what you said just now into 3 simple questions and see if you can turn them into very simple questions so that you could proceed with a little bit management, okay? Can you try to do that? First questions. Encryption, right?
Let me talk about our question in the proposal.
Thank you.
First, are we use encryption in our daily life?
Okay, do we use encryptions in our daily life? Okay.
And second, how many effects about encryption?
How much of encryptions have we used? Yes.
What their effect?
What is the effect of encryptions, right?
Yes.
Now, thank you.
And have other methods to protect data?
What are the other methods to protect data? Okay.
Yes, it is our
Yes.
idea.
Thank you. Because it's very important when you have the specific question to get started with the work of your members. So finally, I'm sorry, is it Lampard? You're the only one from your team, so do you want to share a little bit of your proposal?
Can I maybe next time I wait for my member?
Okay, that's good, that's good. Thank you very much. Now, may I just come back to you now, because three of the teams have already shared with us the specific proposals, and we got some idea on the questions you're working with. Now, try to do it this way. You will now have 20 to 30 minutes time. Write down the questions, the three questions of your proposal, and then discuss about how you distribute the manpower in your team to investigate the individual question, and how to link them up, okay? Let me get you some papers first, because I definitely get you some papers. Because it's very important, once you got the name of your proposal and you got the three questions, you need to start discussing among your table members how you would like to distribute the manpower in your team to work on the problems, and then to discover enough of the individual questions so that you can put together something very useful for you to work on the problem. Now remember, we are not very, we do not need to do the standard too high at this point about how to work with the problem. Remember, we want you to bring it back to the OIA context, okay? When you have a problem, okay, and you have three questions, for each question you come to the OIA to work out the observations of the question, interpretations, and the applications, okay? Each question must have its own set of OIAs, okay? So you need to discuss among yourself who, the better thing is two of you be responsible for one question. Now, you just have four persons normally, but you have three questions. How do you do that? Well, at least two persons need to overlap on two different pairs. Okay? For example, this is one question, this is the second question, and this could be the third question, or something like this. So you understand what I mean. And you need to learn how to discover more information during class time, because that is the precious time you don't need to spend outside the classroom to work on the specific. So now, let us try to do it this way. You now have 20 minutes time. Now, in this 20 minutes time, please do this way. Distribute 2 persons per question first for those teams, okay? And then once you have 2 persons distributed for each question, spend no more than 5 minutes time looking for related information for that question using your smart devices, okay? And then try to come back at the end of the 20 minutes to see how much information you can discover for that specific question. So do you know the first thing you need now is to put down 3 questions on the table. And then for each piece of paper, give you 1 question. And then allocate 2 persons per question. Spend not more than 5 minutes to look up information for 1 question and put things together. Now try to work this out that way. Let me observe how you proceed at this point. Okay? You have 20 minutes time to do that for 3 questions. So you can spend no more than 5 to 6 minutes per question to look up related information. And definitely, if you need some more paper, you just need to raise your hand. Now, in the meantime, allow me to take attendance for today. Christy, yes, Christy is here, right? Shannon is here. Amelia is here. Michael is here. Jacqueline is here. Antonio is here. And then let me come to this. Yes. Stopsy is not here. Ivy is here. Mandy is here. Thomas is here. Angie is not. Lampard is here. Jihin is here. Julia is here. Nora is not here. Peter is here. So we got the attendance set. Yeah. So there's some interesting things in our places now. Right. Yeah, this is very important practice that you need to work together during class time. With your device ready to look at related information, particularly from our website. Your device will definitely get you back to the website. Although we cannot show this to you now in this class, or something wrong with the system. But it's okay, you can handle that. Excellent. You got the Mac in. So can you go back to your little bit on? You have the iPad, definitely you didn't bring back the iPad. It's very good. Yes. You need to write down. Yeah, it's very good. You have an iPad. So with the iPad, you can go back to the URL on the bottom, and then you can look at more information today. But you must have 3 questions or 3 pieces of information. Make sure you're free enough to talk. You're free in class. For time, okay, I highly recommend you really look at the information. Definitely it means how you can become this case line use it. Comfortable with this format of working in class with your table members. At the very beginning, you might feel a little bit uncomfortable because you're given some time to work on something, and then you need to come up with the ideas and organize the material. But you should be able to get used to that. Very good. Particularly when I bring some sweets later. Can you see that? When you go back to the window and bottom, you read the teacher's message, and then there it's very important. Very good.
做这个但是被国家收了，要帮忙这个国外的。
So you have 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to walk you through the native discovery of information to your table. Yes, keep going. Your discussion is going very well. In a minute, I'm going to invite each table to share specifically on your first questions. Okay? You do not need to share all the questions on the first questions, all right? See if you can manage to give us a little more details on the question, the first questions of the topic. According to the schedule, you should be walking into your first questions now. But in a minute, when I invite you to share, you just need to share your discovery on the first questions, okay? First question. So you have 2 minutes left. Now remember, when you do the sharing, do not go over 3 minutes for an individual questions. Okay? So when the microphone is at your table in a minute, before you share your discovery of the first question, make sure you remind the whole class your proposal. That means your problem. For example, hacking and cracking, or hacking and information forge, okay? Or encryptions, very important. You're doing very good, because it takes some time to get the class into the discussion mood. And I think you're doing very good. Learn to pick up the discussion time and make it your work time in class. Okay, with the crappings, may we start now? Okay. Okay, may we start with Amelia's table? Can we start with your table, Antonio? So, your first question. Thank you, Amelia.
Just talk one question.
Yeah, the first question.
We talk about the question of are we use encryption in our daily life?
Good.
And we found a lot of information.
Thank you.
The answer is login account, a Wi-Fi, and some code, and you take the money from the bank.
Right.
On the ATM. Also use encryption.
Right. So you have given us many good examples in our daily life which includes encryption services. Yes? Yes. It's very up to you. You have at most 3 minutes time. Right. You can share with your table members. Yes, thank you, Jacqueline.
Other thing we don't know we are using encryption is that when we go to the internet and
Right.
the website that HTTP, but
Okay.
sometimes that's not only HTTP and maybe SHTTP or HTTPS.
Right.
That's a kind of encryption that can protect our information that go through the internet.
Okay. Thank you very much for reminding us about this very common but often ignored piece of information. So thank you, Jacqueline. And then what about Thomas and Antonio? Do you have anything more to help us to understand for this question? You've given a very good examples.
And
Yes.
in
Antonio.
person, the most important is the key.
The key, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when your key be stolen, they can be get your information, even you use the encryption.
Right. So you know something about the technical stuff.
Yeah.
The key.
Actually, the system is not the method. The method is how to protect your key. So
Okay.
in the deep, I think encryption is not to is not the solution.
Okay. So how do we keep our key in a safe place? Do we put it in a safe or do we lock it in a...
Maybe you can use because the key is not really key. It's like the code or something in the computer. It's some information. Maybe you can use the encryption way to protect that.
Okay, and that's very interesting. That means there's not a physical key. You're not talking about physical key. It's about some kind of very important information that could be used just like a key to unlock.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. So, Thomas, do you have any more to add? Yes, thank you.
Like my friends, they have mentioned about inscriptions. It's the most important point in inscription is, like Anthony has mentioned, is the key.
Right.
It's the key or the codes that we use to get access to the any information or databases.
Yes.
Because inscriptions related to the databases.
Okay.
Or the information that we store on the system.
Okay.
Yeah. But if, for example, if the keys or the codes that we have are stolen by people or other people stealing, it means that the inscription will be useless because others will get access easily to the information that we have or to the system, log into the system, and will steal the information that we store on the system. Yes, that's the inscription that we use in our daily life.
Okay, I think the four of you in your team has already given a good amount of very relevant information to your first question. Thank you very much. Keep going for your second question. So, Antonio, could you help pass the microphone to the table next to you? Oh, it's already there. Thank you. Wendy, so are you willing to help us to understand more about your first question? First, repeat the question before we can understand more, okay?
Our question is how information frauds happen.
Right.
And the thieves can get your information in many ways, such as going through your trash, looking for bills or other documents with your personal information.
Okay.
And stealing your mail or wallet.
Okay. Stealing someone's wallet, it's very the direct way, right?
And listening to conversation you have in public.
Eavesdropping someone else, yes, thank you.
And hacking your personal computer or phone to get your personal information.
Right. Unfortunately, many of us might lost our smartphone and people can easily crack the code and got some information. Thank you.
Yes, and tricking you into giving them information by phone or email.
Right. Wow, you've given us very good examples. Hello, Kathy, would you like to tell us more?
We also found that maybe the social engineering is one type of the information fraud.
Okay.
Maybe the most common strategies they use is that they will send you an email or just some text, and then it contains a link.
Right.
And when you click the link, they can get into your computer and obtain your personal data.
We set a trap, right, to entice you into the link. And then when you click on that your computer will hook up to that with a trap, and then spy software will come into your computer, and then you got virus attack, and then everything would be stolen. Thank you very much for this.
And it's very hard to prevent because most people think this email is from your friends.
Right.
Because the hackers know the contact list.
Right, the identity.
It's very hard to.
So sometimes it's very hard for us to protect ourselves. Sometimes when we discover it, it's too late already. Yes. So what about the other two gentlemen, Peter and Zihin? Do you have anything more to add? for the question you're exploring? Yes. So for the questions, yes, for the questions. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Peter, maybe you go first.
For how information port happen, well, basically it is the two ladies there mentioned the social engineering, which is I think you should be more interested about it. Social engineering is a very special thing for all of us, and until now I still have no idea how it's happening. For example, sometimes it's told you that your computer is under attack and send all your personal information to a specific email address to protect it.
Yes.
And actually, I've seen it once. Of course, I do not, how to say it, done up with that because I don't believe it's true. However, sometimes I'm wondering that maybe they, which means a hacker, maybe can be able to create a better life than your computer's attack. For example, you win a lottery prize for $1 million, send your personal information to a specific email to receive that prize.
Right.
I think this is a very high-skilled social engineers or hacking.
Right.
So about this question, I want to discover a little bit more about the social engineers because most of the trap or fraud were based on that.
Yes, I think you hit a very good point because most of the things happen because we are weak in detecting the trap set by others. And these are categorized under social engineering as we have learned the lessons from Calvin Millett. Thank you, Peter. Could you pass the microphone to the table on IPs and menus? Thank you, Manny. Yes.
Hi, I'm from.
Michael, could you shift a little bit? Thank you, Manny.
Our question is how to protect our computer from being hacked.
Right.
And it just depends on our second leader. I think just the information. At least 4 points of solution.
Right. Could you share that with us?
Yes. Maybe I'll share 2 of them.
Right.
One is create a firmware password.
Okay.
And what is the firmware is some kind of software to against weak disaster.
Okay.
Yes. Then turn off a remote login.
Okay.
X is the to top.
Yes, remote login is sometimes a very technically touchy thing. It's when it's open, it opens up a lot of the leeway for the hackers. I'm glad you mentioned that. I did not think that you would mention that at the very beginning because it's a very technical issue for people to understand. Okay, any more?
And follow 2 from that is choose a secure password and don't give others physical access.
Okay, that means do not just lend your hand so easily for other people's requests for information. Yeah, yes, thank you. So any more that could be added by your members in the table? Julia, Ivy, do you want to add something? Thank you,
I
Ivy.
said the conclusion.
All right.
Hackers, we find the information is hacker can be very discretional, especially if they are wrote the ethicals of this site. And if we cannot protect our information, we can another people can easy to get our information, and we cannot to say anything because this is our responsibility to protect our information.
Right. Yeah, I think you hit a very good point too. Sometimes we could not take good care of our information and happens to lose it once. The subsequence, it's very, very long term, and we do not know when it's going to happen again. So, yes, Michael, do you have anything to add? Thank you, Michael.
I think maybe you can't let them too near your computer anyway. And I think that is an effective way to protect yourself.
Great, thank you very much. So we do have a very good round of discussions, and from your sharing, I could see that you're doing very good. You're getting used to this kind of table-based discussions on specific questions, and I'm so glad that at least you're willing to try that. And when we look at the clock now, Nampa, we'll wait for your sharing next time. Okay? It's okay. I know that how you feel with one person. I want to support you. Before you go, I want to make sure that you know which person in your table or in your team, which two, I better say, are responsible for which questions. Okay, so that when you come back later, you know who to ask for more information and you put them together. And make sure you do a record of your sharing today in your team discussion forum. It's already in your week number 9 and week number 8. You have put a block, okay? You use the best information to keep track. Otherwise, other people will not get informed. All right? I thank you so much for your willingness to try. We will have another chance to do it again on Friday. Okay? All right? So make sure. Have a good evening. See you. Bye-bye. I took the attendance already, so that's it for today's class, CISG 113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy, on April the 8th, 2014.